Hello and welcome to today's webinar about the Coresuite Administration Assistant. Today I'm not alone in that session. I have a colleague joining, so welcome Simon to today's webinar about the Coresuite Administration Assistant. He will take over as soon as it gets into the real presentation. So he shows you the example which he's also having on daily basis when interacting with customers and partners, so that you also see how the solution could be used. If you have any questions, feel free to use the chat box anytime. We will have time at the end or sometimes also in between to answer your questions. And yeah, I hope you enjoy what you see today. The agenda looks like the following. First of all, I give an overview about the target audience so that you also know who should be or who should use the Coresuite Administration Assistant, also the target of that web session, what we want to achieve today. And then I guess the most important question to answer is, what is the Coresuite Administration Assistant and which requirements have to be fulfilled to use it as well. We will then jump into a live example, do a quick recap, and then we also have enough time for your questions, so feel free. And if you don't have any questions, then I'm happy to receive feedback about what you have seen. If you like the presentation, if you think this is a tool which can be useful for you as well, or maybe also if you have ideas how we could improve what you have seen, feel free to send that to us as well, as we appreciate every feedback. Coming to the target audience, the webinar is targeting mainly system administrators, so people who have to do updates or installing modules and so on. And this goes along as well with consultants who are involved in customer projects where this is a common topic. The target of that webinar is that you understand for what you could use the CAA. I always name it the short, or take the short name CAA. So this is the same or the name for the Coresuite Administration Assistant, just the short form. And of course, we hope that after this session, you will use the CAA from now on for a simpler and faster installation and upgrade handling. We also are requesting your feedback there if this is the case or not. So, but what is the Coresuite Administration Assistant? So what I said before, it's the short name of, or CAA is the short name of Coresuite Administration Assistant, and it's a new external tool which could be used together with the Coresuite installer from version 670. It is a tool to simplify the module administration, and we have therefore also unified the installation process for all system environments. So it means no matter if you have a project or an upgrade on-premise SQL, HANA, or a cloud environment, the process is now the same for all system environments. And the best thing, it is for free, so you don't have to pay anything for this for the Coresuite Administration Assistant. You can just download it from help desk and use it right away, as long as you have fulfilled the requirements. And here we are already. So coming to the requirements, that you can take advantage of what you see today, you need to have, first of all, also the wish of having a simplified SIP installation, else you can keep the process like it is. But as we heard on the market, there is also a request to have that simplified, and we hope we can provide that. In order to use it, it is important that the installer in place is at least version 670 or higher. And you also need to start the add-on at least or once in each company as well when you have multiple databases. We do have a step-by-step instruction on our website. We will come to that point right away, so you will also see which information you can find there. Important is that you do not save the PDF file there with the instruction locally, because our development is also actively maintaining this document and will update it with future changes. And so important is to remember the link, but not save the PDF locally, so that you get all the time the latest version as well. So jumping to the demonstration, I switch now the presenter. So I hand over the word to Simon, who will give you an overview about how the CAA could be used with some examples, and hope you enjoy it.
Okay, welcome also from my side. As said, I just switched on my screen. You should see it now. As said, I'll tell you something about the technical parts of the CAA, having also a bit of a look what you can actually do. But let me quickly step one step back and going to the Coresuite installer, which is needed for the CAA. We do have a new installer version 670, and with that installer, some changes are coming. And those are needed, especially if you're using the CAA. What is this installer actually doing? This installer is removing the need of having a Coresuite database extra, as well in SQL environments, the same as we had basically in HANA, since Coresuite was available for HANA, of course. So showing you quickly the FAQs on on-premise products, we have there an important announcement in regards to this new installer. I won't go into that too deep because it's very well explained here, as well as what you have to do to get to this new installer, and with all prerequisites, the recommended upgrade procedure, and every step you have to take. As well as we do have an FAQ called Coresuite Administration Assistant, where you find the newest installer version as all the time for this CAA, as well as the documentation, which Fabian just mentioned before. Please remember, we will update this PDF here from time to time. I think it's still the same as in the versions 670 now, so that's why it's not updated. But please don't download this, but have a look here and there on this page again to see what the Coresuite administration can do or what has changed. But now let me quickly show you what it looks like in the SQL server. So we do have here the Coresuite database, which has no modules and no license table anymore. The modules and license tables are now available in the company databases itself. So we do have the SWA modules table and the SWA license table. And in these tables now the information is stored, which zip is installed, what license is available in this company database. So if you're not using FSM, you can get rid of the Coresuite database. So let me quickly open the Coresuite Administration Assistant and we can have a look of what it can do. So that's it. And we do have a few points here on that page. What we have is a company setup and the module setup. And then, of course, the tasks which we are capable of doing with that tool. So first, let's go to the companies. We can manually add all companies here with pressing the Add button, inserting all information. But we created a bit of simpler solution as well, which is called the Pre-Configuration Assistant, where you can use our automatism to select all databases, all company databases from the SQL server. So I'm inserting my details right now, clicking Get Databases, and now I'm getting here all SBO companies which are available on that server. So what I am doing now is I'm selecting those two companies as I want to administer them in the CAA, and then I select here or insert here some information, which is then needed for each database to connect, because the CAA is actually connecting to each database singularly. So one time, one database, one connection, and then it closes that connection again. So I'm inserting details right now, as well as the SBO user and the SBO password. Same as we would have done with a Coresuite installation. So we enter data in here, select the DB type, and then as well we can select here a language. And what is this language for? It's actually used to deliver you error messages. I think I just made a mistake and have to do that again. Sorry for that. So what I missed is saving this pre-configuration file. So let me do this now in a JSON. All information is stored in there. Of course, the passwords are hashed, so they're not visible in this JSON file. And if I click Save Now and press OK, the databases, the companies are available within here. So in here, I can also edit them, and I can select or insert some specific information if needed. Now, as we have the companies here, I can do a first step and see if the connection is actually working. That's what the check connectivity is used for. Once I execute, I can see that it starts connecting to SBO CASI-CH. Once the connection has been done, it will show you a green circle with a white arrow in it. Sorry, I missed the word there. But anyway, you see that the connection is done successfully for both companies. And that's what I mentioned before. It's opening the connection, and it's then disconnecting again and doing it for each company independently. What I can do now is I can select modules which I want to do something with. Okay, so I can either go to a folder and select zip there, or what I can do as well, I can download the latest available zips from our website or from our web servers. So in this use case, I want to upgrade Coresuite Time, and I actually want to keep the zip for future things. So I can select a folder, and I make a new folder here, which is called Downloaded Version 675. Press OK, and then I download the zip. Okay, so now in the module setup, I do have the SWA CT, so Coresuite Time zip available. What I can now do is I can install modules, downgrade modules, or remove modules. So currently, if we have a quick look at the SCO Studio, I press execute here again. We can see that in SBO CASI-CH, there's Coresuite Time version 670 installed, and in the workshop computers in SBO Demo CH, there's version 670 installed as well. So as we have version 675, we'll upgrade them both. And that's done with the option Install Modules. Now it says here, install selected modules into the selected companies. The selection of the companies seems to be quite easily seen. Every module which is in here is a selected module. So if you don't want to do something with a module, you have to remove it from within here. It tells you here that one module is currently selected. So now I'm pressing execute, and I'm installing now the Coresuite Time into both companies. It tells me here installation of zip was successful for SBO CASI-CH, and it was successful for SBO Demo CH as well. Now, what does install mean? Install means, if I press execute here again, that there was a new entry in this SWA modules table, which is 675 in both companies. Install does not mean that the core suite has been started one and the actual module has been extracted to all clients. So what we still have to do is we have to start the add-on once again. So I'll stop it, and then I'll start it so that the Coresuite time zip can be extracted on the local machine and can then be used as well in here. So let's wait quickly until this is done.
Meanwhile, I could see that there is a question coming in, and the question is the Coresuite Administration Assistant mandatory from version 670?
The Coresuite Administration Assistant is not mandatory. You can use it, but you can also just use the default procedure as until now. So if you feel more comfortable with the procedure as until now, you can do it as well. And if you maybe have a customer with only one company, you don't have to use the CAA because it doesn't make that much sense. But if you have multiple companies, it's very helpful to have the Coresuite Administration Assistant, and you can use it. It's not mandatory. So let's see, the designer has stopped. Okay, we can now check what version we have installed. So I'll open the Coresuite Administration again, and I can then see, once the demo effect is over, that Coresuite Time version 675 has successfully been installed. Okay, now, but what happens if we have made an error in our newest version? You now want to downgrade because the customer is blocked from working. There's a solution for that as well. We do have the downgrade modules, and I'll have to explain a bit what it does actually, because you cannot select a module you want to downgrade to. So you cannot say, I want to downgrade to version 650 or 655. What it will do is it will downgrade the selected module here, so Coresuite Time, in that case, for these companies, just to the last version which was installed. So in our case, it will downgrade to the version 670. So what I will do is I'll now, just as a demo effect for SBO CASI-CH, I'll downgrade the Coresuite Time module again by pressing execute. What it's now doing is it's removing all the entries needed from the company database and shows you then, hey, it's now only 670 which is installed and not 675 anymore. So with that procedure, you can downgrade just to the latest version. If I now start it again, we can see that it will install the older Coresuite Time version again, and that you're back, or I'm back now to the previous version. Now, in some cases, while it's doing the installation in the background, remove modules is maybe needed. What it does actually, it removes all entries, all versions of the selected module from the selected companies. So it will empty the SWA modules table totally, so that any version can be installed afterwards. That's maybe needed in some use cases. General, we don't have to do this, but it's helpful if the possibility is there. What I can do, for example, I can show you quickly for SBO demo CH, I can remove modules, I press execute. And it has removed the module SWA CT completely from the database. So that's what it's for. Let's quickly wait until we have Coresuite Time installation over. Maybe there's another question in the meantime. If not, we'll just have to wait quickly.
There is a question, and the question is, does it have any impact on the performance?
Not really, to be honest, or I don't know about that. It's just, it's one company less, or one company, one database less, but I don't think that it will have a great impact on the Coresuite performance. What impact it will have is on your performance. If you want to administer like 10 databases similarly, you can do that quite faster than before.
There is also another question. I think we probably will come to that, but I still place it now. How can we get custom SIPs in the CAA, or is that still handled through the Coresuite administration?
Custom SIPs can be installed through the CAA as well. If you have the module set up, you can just press Browse, and then from within here, for example, Coresuite Customize, I just have this on my system right now. You can select it, and then you have it available in here as well.
One more question. The question is, where does Coresuite get the downgraded version from, coming to the example you just showed previously?
The downgraded version is stored in the database. I don't have now the complete table selected, but only a few columns. If I would have selected the whole table, you would see that there are some data sections and dependencies, and the SIPs are actually stored within the company database. So it's getting the SIPs from within the company. Okay, these were all questions. So let's go back then to the Coresuite Administration Wizard. Let me close quickly, go to meeting. So let me go to the second two steps we have here: install license and get company info. Now, what you need to do as well is you need to install a license, right, for your companies. What you can do then is you can select this, you can select the companies you want to install the license for, and then press execute, which will give you a pop-up where you can choose a license. So what I now can do is I can browse here on my system, and I do have here the license which I downloaded from the portal. An option for exporting your license is also available on our FAQs. In our FAQs, it's called the Coresuite License Exporter, where you can get your license so you don't have to download it from the portal if you like. I select now just the license which I have here, press OK, and now it will install this license into the SBO CASI CH database. So it will attempt to remove the old license and then install a new license when this was successful. Now, if something is not working still and you need to have support involved here, we have created a small option here as well, which is called Get Company Info. It's the well-known company info we want to have for most of our Coresuite or SAP ticket, let's say. You can select this option, press then, or select the companies you want to have the information for, and press then execute, which will give you the company information, as you might know already from our SQL queries, which we deliver from our FAQ. So here we do have an option to send this to the clipboard or save it as an RPT file if you want to send it to us through a ticket or through the email, of course. So that's it basically. That's the Coresuite Administration Assistant, and that's what it is. So it's not a complete replacement for the installation, because you have to install the Coresuite first, or the Coresuite installer first in the SAP client in the company, and once it is installed, you can administer it. So that's why it's called the Administration Assistant and not an Installation Assistant, because it's it's not the whole thing, but just to make your life a bit easier if you're dealing with upgrades or downgrades, such as with new module versions. And I think with that, I'm over with my demonstration and will give back the word to Fabienne. Thanks for listening to me.
Thank you, Simon, for going through the different functionalities. So you have seen now in the demonstration of or live example how the Coresuite Administration Assistant can be used. I quickly recap the features so that you get again what you have seen. So Simon first checked the connectivity of the two databases, and then he installed Coresuite Time and realized then that he would like to get a downgrade because there might have been an issue. So he downgraded the module. What he didn't show is to remove the modules, which works the same as the others, but might be not that often the case as the other functionalities. And then as well how you could install licenses or zip files. And in the very rare case that you need to contact our support, you can also get the company info directly from the CAA to send that out to the or to add that to the support ticket when there is an issue. So looking back, our target was that you get an understanding for what the CAA could be used, and you hopefully use it from now on for a simpler and faster installation process. To repeat, it is not mandatory to work with the CAA from now on, but you need to have at least version 670 to take advantage of the Coresuite Administration Assistant. And to achieve our targets, we presented you some slides with information about the Coresuite Administration Assistant before we dived into a live example. We answered already some questions during the session, but nonetheless, we do also have blocked and reserved some time. So in case you have any questions, it is time now to send them over to us. We are happy to answer them directly. And if there are no questions, then we're also happy to receive feedback. What do you think? How do you like it, or do you think you will work with it in the solution in the future? Because our development team put a lot of effort in to bring this simplified administration assistant into the world. And when you have any feedback or also improvement ideas, feel free to share them with us so that we can also bring that back to the team and try to get your ideas in whenever possible.
One question is if it's possible to downgrade a custom zip. What I do have in mind, I didn't test it, to be honest, but if there are different version numbers, the downgrade should be possible as well for custom zips, yes.
Okay, seems that there are no other questions for now. Just also to repeat, we have an FAQ and step-by-step guideline on the help desk. You will also receive the presentation with the link. And if you have any more questions about it, feel free to contact us anytime. Or if there might be an issue, then contact support at Coresystems with a ticket. We are happy to assist, and we thank you for your time today, for your interest, for the very good questions as well, and hope to see you soon again. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.